Welcome to Chasing K-Dramas, the podcast that dissects popular Korean dramas episode by episode. We dig into the characters, the themes, and everything in between. I'm Chrissy Choi, and I'm here with
Dulcé, Sloan. Ding, 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 ding. Friends. So listen, we are still on our campaign. Road to 10,000 Sarangees.
Yes.
And so you got to be sure you go to YouTube and subscribe and follow us on the Spotify and the Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. And help us hit 10,000 Sarangees by February the 26th of the 2026. So 2/26/26.
Oh, wow.
God.
2026.
I'm already booking.
Gross.
I've already booked an event for 2026. And I was like, oh, this is right there.
Ugh.
So tell your friends about us and have them join. And also we have our official fan club, Club Sarangees on Substack.
Yes.
And all of the thank you gifts went out last week.
Yes.
I packed them all up.
I heard through some of our Substack chats that people have received, which is great.
Yes.
They came safely. They arrived safely.
God bless. Mm-hmm. So I was like, because Chrissy was like, how are we going to send this out? I said, girl, I have a whole shipping company.
It was a whole thing.
She brought it to my house. I had a whole thing set up. I made those tote bags fresh. Okay. So if you got a tote bag that was fresh off the press, baby.
Oh, yes. We delivered all the merch orders as well.
Wasn't even sitting on the shelf. I had to go, let me find it.
Yeah, and if you guys want more tote bags, we could always order more. The store's open. We're always accepting orders. So
accepting orders. We got the merch running. My merch is going to be popping off. Holidays are coming. We're going to be doing some holiday stuff for my lip gloss company.
Nice.
I had my last stand-up show of the year last weekend.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
It was great. I ended up selling out 3 of the 4 shows.
Oh, yes. Good. Good.
Good.
Thank
y'all so much.
And it was snowing.
It was 8 degrees outside. I had to fly in a day early because flights were just hard to get because I had to go to Burlington, Vermont.
Never been to Vermont.
Fun fact, on the Lake Champlain, there is a boat, like a big ferry boat that you can get a ride on to go around the lake called the Ethan Allen. And I was like, what does the furniture dude have to do with boats? And then you got on the boat and you find out that he fought in the Revolutionary War.
Well, I was going to say, so, Ken Burns has a new documentary out, The American Revolution. It's like we're watching it on Prime.
Yes.
And anyways, the voice casting is crazy, but they talk about Ethan Allen. I was like, I know him.
So then my question was, what does furniture have to do with the Revolutionary War? You see what I'm saying? So was he starting a new republic while
making furniture?
Making shipper ropes. You see what I'm saying?
Or maybe a descendant of Mr. Allen, decided to make a furniture company. He was like, I'm going to honor my grandfather. A great-grandfather.
A man can have a hobby. Because my question was, well, what happened? Did Rooms to Go come and take them out? Like, I want to know what happened. So, and then my travel back was crazy. It went from 2 flights to being 3 flights and a bunch of delays. Yeah. But that was my last road gig for the year. Yeah. My new dates for next year are going to be coming out soon. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make a fun announcement. But I do want to know if people love the cards that they got, the Sarangees. We got those cards made.
Yeah.
And I hope people enjoyed everything that they got. And cause Chrissy was like, let me tell you something. This is a corporate ass girl. She was like, we got to have the right color, the right font, I was like, yeah, girl, I get it. So when I came up with the card, she was like, hold on, let me change this. And I was like, please. So I knew I could not order them things.
It's the former executive in me.
And I appreciate you because you were the one that keeps this podcast afloat. Because literally I was talking to my manager. He was like, oh, you wouldn't have a podcast without her. And I was like, no, I wouldn't.
Thanks, Reg.
Shout out to Reg Tigerman, baby. We've made a decision.
Yes.
We've made a decision.
So a lot of people have said that
it's time to wrap it up.
Well, yes, which is kind of upsetting. So meaning wrapping up Genie, Make-A-Wish, which it's kind of like, it makes me really sad.
Because it was a good show.
It is a good show. Not was. I think it is a good show.
And I don't understand why people are like, hey, like they really gave us the wrap it up light. So they started playing the music at the Oscars and it was like, wrap it up.
Oh, I think what happened was because we talked about Dynamite Kiss. Like I couldn't not talk about Dynamite Kiss just because it was so good too. I love the first episode.
A popular show.
Right. And I think people were just like, anyways. But the important thing is this, like, I just want our Sarangees to know, we will always finish a drama. Like if we start a recap or a rewatch or a chase, we're gonna always finish it.
Listen, you got to finish
I don't
this race.
leave things. Yeah, we're not gonna leave things like open ended.
That's like because she does marathons. It'd be crazy
if I just bounced.
If you started a marathon and you're like, you know what? I'm at mile 20. I'm done.
They do call it. It's called DNF. Did not finish, and you don't want. And you get like it's like disqualification.
But I didn't finish. How you disqualify me? I paid to do this.
Also, people like I saw people around like mile 23. People fell like flies. Like it's actually kind of like alarming when people start falling around you.
But can't you just like stop running for a while?
You can, but like people were like collapsing.
Because you know what? They should have stopped and they didn't.
Well, it's also because I think a lot of people, those folks I feel may have not trained properly because basically you just can't like, you have to train. You got to like run at least like a minimum of like 21 miles before you do the thing because if you don't, your body's like in shock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're not supposed to run for this long. But if we start a race, we're going to finish the race. And so for the last 4 episodes of Genie Make-A-Wish, we decided to combine them into 2 episodes.
Yes.
Into 1 episode of the podcast.
Yes.
So today we'll be recapping episodes 10 and 11. And then next week, which is Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Oh my God. I can't believe it's Christmas Eve.
You know, my favorite thing is December the 23rd. Because my mama calls it Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. I like Christmas. Anyways.
I like Christmas because, you know, our Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
And so next week is Christmas Eve. And we're going to cover episodes 12 and 13.
Yes.
For the final episode of the podcast. Which means that when we figure out whatever our new drama is, we'll be starting the new year with the new drama. And so for the Sarangees, there is a vote going out for you to figure out what you're going. Would it still be up?
It will be over at this point.
Well, crap. So we are going to be using what? So y'all make sure that your votes get in because we would have already figured this out.
Yeah. This was a last minute kind of like decision.
Well, because we were trying to figure out what drama
we're rolling with the punches. You know what I mean?
Because we were like, okay, should we do Dynamite Kiss or are we going to go old school rewatch? Are we going to do Crash Landing on You, which I still haven't seen, and The Glory, which I still haven't seen.
Yes, and I think all 3 are going to be excellent choices. But but I think this time around we really wanted to give the power to our Sarangees and be like, hey, people, you tell us what you want us to cover. So we're going to post the results. I'm doing all of it. So people are going to see it in real time, who wins, all of that. So, yeah. And at this point, they would have already seen. So we'll see what happens.
I am excited.
Okay. So we're going to be going through episodes 10 and 11. And we're going to do this a little bit faster than we usually do it.
Right.
So just bear with us. But I will give a quick synopsis of episode 10. Okay. So in episode 10, emotional stakes, okay? Ooh. Lots going on, okay? And we're officially setting up the drama's endgame. So we're now moving between 3 unraveling worlds that are all headed towards collision.
Yes.
Okay, so first, in the town, everyone's fallen apart in their own ways, okay? That Seungnae Halmoni, who's kind of mean. I don't like that Halmoni.
Oh, hater-ass Halmoni?
Hater-ass Halmoni. She's spiraling. She's spiraling out of jealousy.
It's crazy.
She's like nuts. She went from 0 to 100
real quick.
Yeah, and then Halmoni, our sweet Halmoni, is preparing for her own death
because Angel Nim, while she was making food for the needy, came up was like, "Oh, you thought just because you was young didn't mean your soul wasn't the same age?"
It was a lot.
You goofy bitch.
I know. And then Minji learns the truth about Halmoni's identity
from some teeth.
And then the supernatural plot, right? So our magical beings, Genie, Angel, Irem, and Sade, and Khalid are inching towards an inevitable confrontation.
Poor Irem.
I know. And at the
Angel
center of
is
it
a
all,
bad boss.
I know. And at the center of it all, Ka-young and Genie's relationship, which reaches its most romantic and vulnerable point yet. And by the end of the episode, Ka-young and Genie share a dreamlike desert date filled with dancing and confessions. Okay, really quickly, what did you think of the episode?
I loved it.
I know. It's like getting better. Like, so that's the thing. The final 4 episodes, it gets better and better each time.
So this is like the show Behind Your Touch. Because the first couple of episodes, I was like, what the am I watching? And then I kept watching it and I was like, oh, kind of like when the camellia blooms. All the funny. So it's like Behind Your Touch. Oh, we're solving crime. Camellia blooms. Oh, we're solving crime. So it's like, if you keep watching it, then it's like, oh.
Yeah, so I feel like it's getting better as we go.
Yes.
So I would tell our Sarangees, if you guys are still watching with us, just like finish it.
Just finish
I promise you, it's like just finish what you like. Just it gets better. It's worth it.
Finish what you started.
Okay, so we'll go into our first key moment. Okay, our YouTube couple, their marriage collapses. Okay.
Honestly, you can't blame her.
We have a new trash ass husband. Okay.
She was like, "Can you cure my father's cancer?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, medical science is great."
It is wild.
She's like, "But it's terminal."
It was crazy. So he basically was like, why don't we share? Well, let's figure out what the last 2 wishes will be, right?
And she was like, I get a wish, you get a wish. And he was like, well, actually, these are both mine. And it's like.
And one thing I really did like about this character, so the female character, her name is Tajin. She's the one who actually questions the morality of everything. She's like, why did you get this wish? And B, like, what are the repercussions of this wish? You know? So no other character up until this point has to like question it. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Is this a good idea?
Yeah. So then they're fighting over the wishes. He's being a trash ass. So she decides,
I want a divorce.
I'm going to divorce you. And then behind his back, she decides to
change the password of the YouTube.
She deletes it. She deletes it and then changes the password so he can't get in.
And so she can't get in.
It was pretty good.
So then he gets upset and he feels betrayed. And so he summons the genie. And which I also like the fact that the genie is on the phone.
Oh yes, he's like an app. He's like a phone
he's like
app.
an app. It almost reminds you of like one of those it's like an 8-bit thing or like one of those betting games.
Those games, yeah.
And so he is upset and he's alone and he was just like, I wish for her to forget everything about the genie, about the wishes, which is so funny because the manager bitch tried to get him to forget about her wishes.
I know.
And so he is now wishing for his wife to forget about the genie and the wishes. And then it's the moment, it's like, it's...
Oh, you mean the Imsan lady? She wished to have her wishes reversed, right? Yeah.
So she was like, well, I want... The genie is like, so genie, I want you to forget that I had wishes. And he was like, if I forgot that I had wishes, would I have been able to tell you about the man who wished for me to forget?
Yeah.
And she was like, da, da, da. But I feel like Tajin was I don't know if she was justified in asking for a divorce, but what I do like is she was thinking to herself, I asked you to save my father.
Yeah.
Who is your father. And you told me no.
Yeah. And I think that was like the moment.
Me,
yeah.
And I like that she didn't, it was a very much like, I gotta go.
Yeah. Because like, think about how selfish that is. It's wild. And he was being kind of like a brat about it too.
Because the thing is, the first wish that got you all of this success was off of a tragedy of somebody else. You found a body.
Yeah. But you know this guy, so his character's name is Young Hyun, right? Young Hyun, he's in Dynamite Kiss.
Is he?
Yeah, so he plays the best friend, right? The main character's best friend. So his name is, Kim Mi Kyung is the actor's name. So yeah, so he's in the love square. So Dynamite Kiss has a love square.
Oh, because love triangles have been too easy for too long.
Love square, everyone's so excited. Okay, so
and I mean, it's like, because he was just being so mean to her.
And I love the fact that she deleted the account. And then she's like, you know what, I'm done. Bye. Like she's gonna take zero bullshit from this person. So I was rooting
because
for her.
He got so upset, and she was like, you deleted the account. And she was like, yeah.
It's nuts.
And we only have a certain number of days to get it back.
Which is crazy.
So how about you save my daddy or this is gone forever.
Okay. So then we move to our second key moment, right? Halmoni's secret is exposed. Okay. So Minji's kind of going through this thing. She's trying to figure out Halmoni because she's seen a lot of like weird things happen, right? So at this point, I think she goes to like her hometown and she's showing old pictures of young Halmoni with these random Halmonis. They're like, oh, that's actually, I forget.
What's her name? Pangam?
I forget her name. Oh, Pangam. Yeah. That's old Pangam. That's old Pangam. Went to back in the day, you know? And they're like, oh, okay.
How do you have a picture from her from back in the day? And she's like, oh, no reason.
So And then we jump to our Halmoni, the jealous Halmoni, Seungre, right?
Because she goes to bring food to her son.
This part made me sad.
It made me sad. She went to bring food to her son, and he's like, we're not home. And she was like, well, just give me the code. I can leave the food. And he goes, my wife doesn't like strangers in our house. And it's like, she's like, how am I a stranger?
Yeah, and then basically, Seungre Halmoni is going around town too, and she sees young Halmoni at the grocery store buying stuff. Sees her, for the chesa, for the ancestral rites, and then she sees her farming, and she actually at one point thinks it's Halmoni, right?
Because she's in the outfit and she's sitting on the little
mannerisms and all of that,
and got the bucket and everything.
So she then finally she's like, oh my god, like I think that's her,
which is crazy for you
to jump to,
right? But also crazy to be like, well, is that how did she? It's like, well, how did you get young and all this other stuff? And she was acting like a straight fool.
She was acting nuts, and then she marches over to Ka-young's house, right? And she she storms in, goes to the fridge.
This was my girl what moment. This was my girl what moment. In the word of my brother, who the are you to tell me that you came in my house? Because she's like, why are you in my house? This tastes like, and she's eating the food. She's like, no, Panga made this. And she's like, why are you in my house?
Also, that is a very smart way to figure out whether that was really her or not, by eating her food, right? Because she knows she's
eating this woman's food for 50 years.
Exactly. That's
40,
the perfect way to kind of tie things together. But that was really funny.
I know how you make this kimchi. Because she had it was the mung bean one.
I think so. I forget what she was. So she was sitting here eating the panchan.
She had the panchan, and she's like, "This is how Panga makes this. I know this is you." And she's like, "No, please, no, please, no, please."
God,
and she is freaking out. But also, it's how do you explain this to anyone else?
I know. So this Halmoni is
because our Halmoni is begging her not to say anything.
Also, Halmoni begging her not to say anything. It made me sad because they are supposed to be such good friends.
Because she's like, Sungnim.
Yeah, 형님, I'm sorry, 형님, please don't, right? And then the mean Halmoni is she's just so upset and so jealous.
It's so wild because it's first she was jealous that she went to Hawaii because she was like, you didn't even go to Hawaii. You could have gave those tickets to somebody else. And then, because Ka-young's like, okay, girl.
Why would I give it to you?
Why would I give it to you?
And let your son. So her kids are doing really well because I think at one point they were saying that the son was a judge.
It's one of them was a doctor. The kids are doing very well. Yeah. And she's always yeah, my kids, they do this for me. They do that for me. Them kids don't do nothing for her.
I know. So, and then this part was really random because Khalid's men overhears this conversation.
Because they're parked outside the house. But then Ka-young has cameras. So.
And then Khalid's like, oh, we need to kill that crazy Halmoni. But it's before she spreads the information. But I'm like, is that really necessary? I guess it's kind of crazy.
I can tell you in the English dubbing because because I couldn't figure out in the English dubbing they don't make that clear.
Okay, yeah. So basically,
they say they have to kill the grandma.
Yeah,
but they don't make it clear which grandma needs to die. In the English dubbing, they don't. It's because
I think they need to kill the Seungre Halmoni, the crazy Halmoni.
Right.
Because she's going to spread rumors, right?
Right. But I'm saying in the English dubbing, it's not clear which Halmoni. Is it are we trying to kill young Halmoni? Mm-hmm. Are we trying to kill hater-ass Halmoni?
No, I think they need probably... I think they were probably keeping young Halmoni as bait.
Right. I'm just saying just in the English dubbing, when Khalid says we need to kill the grandma, it's not clear which grandma it is.
Yeah. Okay, so then moving to our third key moment, Ka-young meets Jinniya and goes on a date in Dubai with Genie, right? So she's trying to really figure out this 20-year memory gap, right? Mm-hmm. So she goes back to that market where Jinniya's thing. What do we call it?
It's a vase plaque.
A vase plaque.
I think it's called a relief.
A relief, right? Mm-hmm. So she's rubbing it, and
then 3 hours has gone by, and the man goes, "Hey, you need to buy this relief."
Yeah, what are you doing? And then while she's rubbing, Khalid has sent men to track her down. So they're spying on her.
And she realized, oh, this was old boy on the plane, all this other stuff. What I don't like is that they have that tattoo on their hand. They never explain the tattoo.
Nope.
They don't tell you I guess we need to look the letters up.
Were they? Yeah, they weren't giving those little kids in the in their little.
They were.
Were they doing it?
The kids in the prison.
They were branded.
They were but they were branded with a tattoo.
So that's why they.
It's the same thing.
So they were branding his people. Yeah. So it's the same thing.
But what was so crazy? Like he was a little kid while they were doing it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't figure out what year it was because that means everybody who works from him is 1,000 years old.
No, I think he just had kids around. He just
always
has people around.
But Crazy. It's like, which is insane because he has to hire parents every couple of years.
He does, yeah.
But also, he can't stay in one place for too long because people are going to notice he's not growing up.
Exactly. So,
God.
So you have his men, his henchmen are there. They're about to attack her, but then Jinniya, right, Song Hye-kyo pops out, saves her
with all the butterflies.
The butterflies is beautiful
in the sky. I can go twice as high.
And then she takes her into her like gorgeous little area, like her house. Yes. And basically this is when she starts telling Jinniya like bits and pieces. So Jinniya starts telling Ka-young bits and pieces of Genie's history, okay? So like we find out, right? So we find out that Genie once unleashed a catastrophic golden rain that leveled an entire city. Okay, and that is what they were calling the Wrath of Iblis. Remember, we saw the sword and the stone and all of that, right?
Honestly, this room, because I saw something. It was like, would you want? Because they talk about like back in the day, like women that were like. The face that launched 1,000
Helena
ships.
Troy.
Yes. Or it's just like people went to war, and my friend was like, "I wouldn't want that." I'm like, "That I want it."
You want it?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Someone disrespected me. You destroyed a city.
It's crazy.
Listen, just burn down a Wendy's. All I'm saying.
I know. So then. Jinniya is basically like, I can't tell you anything more because she's scared of God, right? She's scared of getting punished. But then Ka-young confirms that he did all of this for her past self, right? And then
because of the inscriptions,
and all of that. And then Genie comes to Dubai, right? And then they're at that place where the stone sword is. And then they like hug each other trying to figure out if they can like conjure up memories. And then he sees the red balloon again because every time we see the little kid with the balloon, he gets like a flashback, right?
Balloons.
Right. And then he jumps to the moment where it's at night. They're together, him and like Ka-young from the past. And we discover that Mutalib, who's Genie's master at the time, is ready to make his final wish, right?
They're supposed to go to Koryo.
Right. So she's like, and then obviously Genie's, because it's the current Genie in the past, she's like, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting so weird? Like, are we going to be able to go back to Koryo? And he's like, okay. And then, right? And then he jumps back to the present. So he got like a small flashback, right? But then he tells Ka-young, he's like, hey, I think I may have failed you in the past. Like something happened. I must have done something that failed you, right? And then Ka-young is just kind of like, don't worry about it. I think I don't know if this part or like a little bit later, but she tells him, she's like, hey, let's not focus on our broken past and let's like focus on our future, right? Which is very sweet. Then they like start like dancing and like he takes her on a date and it jumps to his like magical oasis.
Yes, because it was that place in the desert where he was sitting there with Sade smoking
his
hookah.
Oasis. Yes, his like old house, right? So this part was interesting because he takes her there and out of nowhere, like he has servants. But I thought he couldn't conjure up things for himself.
They're not for him. They're for her. She's hungry.
So he's able to do it for other people, but he can't do it for himself.
Because I think the equivalent of that oasis is where Jinniya lives. So I think that's where
That was his home. Yeah.
Right. So him being trapped in the lamp.
Yeah.
Is so much more significant because that was probably his home. Like having that, the tent set up, and being with the water, all that oasis.
Yeah.
And instead he was trapped on a lamp with a chair that was too small.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they took everything away from him.
So now he's just like on this bench that's too small. But he had a whole floor. So
he had an entire thing. So then, did you see in this part, this gag, I thought was the rug. He was trying to hide that rug, that Chanel rug from a long time ago that Jinniya gave him.
But also,
that made me
my
laugh.
thing, it was like, how does she have a Chanel rug? Chanel wouldn't have existed.
Yeah.
Or Chanel's such a classic brand that has been around.
I just love it how
since
they have the double
Genies.
C's. So then, right, they start dancing. I thought this was an incredibly romantic moment.
Were you stepping on her feet?
I know. And
also,
she's
waltzing is hard.
Waltzing's hard, but she's like the queen of the waltz. So
Right.
she's like, I'll teach you. She's
One,
like,
two,
what are
three,
you doing?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
So they're dancing. He's like whining and dining her, all of that. And then she says that she's going to change, I think, at one point. She's like, I'm going to go change. Oh, because I think what happened, doesn't she get wet? Because like it starts raining at one point. Yeah, it rains in Dubai. Yeah.
Jinniya puts a cloud because she's the one that controls the weather.
Yes.
So they start on an outside date.
In Dubai.
Dubai, they're at an outside date,
Yeah.
and then Jinniya sends a cloud of rain over her, and then they go to the oasis.
Yes.
And then he gives her a change of clothes, and that burgundy looked gorgeous on her.
I know, she looked very pretty.
But those shoes were very interesting.
She looked good.
And she was like, "Do I look like someone from the past to you?"
Yeah, and she did. Mm-hmm. I know.
I can say, like, there's just something about just having just a scarf just kind of lightly draped over your head.
It's kind of mysterious and sexy at the same time.
It makes you feel very. It makes you feel very sassy, but also makes me feel very feminine.
Yeah.
Where you're just kind of like, hello. They just like it's. I would want even if you're just in your house by yourself, just take your lightest scarf and just kind of like drape it over yourself, and then just walk around. Man, woman, animal, vegetable, mineral. I don't care, but just take because for so long we were just draped in cloth, trying to cover up our nakedness, and someone was like pants, and you're like, boo. Yeah. Give me these outfits. But so while they're waltzing and stuff, he has another vision in the reflection of the river, and he spots the boy with the torch.
Yeah, so the kid with the red balloon again.
And then he turns to and then there's this smoking, dangerous version of his past self.
Yeah. Because I think this version that we were seeing, he's a little bit cockier. He looks edgy. It's like edgy Genie.
The hair is
sexy. He has a little smirk.
Yes. He's good for a smirk.
Yeah.
And I took that to account when I did mine, because we're going to have to do the American remake.
Oh, yeah.
So I took that into an account when I was thinking of who's a little smirky, because he's also very fun.
I know. He was fun. So that was a very quick. I can't believe we did that.
I can't believe
we flew through it. This is unusual for us.
It makes
I feel like I'm like, what did we just do?
I feel itchy.
I know.
I was like, we didn't do it all.
But the thing about this episode 10, I felt like it was
fast paced. The story made sense.
Well, it was like a setup episode.
It was like, we're doing this. We're doing this.
Because this next episode 11 is where all the action, and we'll take a little bit more time with episode 11 because there's a lot to unpack.
Is Genie's biggest villain, is it Khalid or is it Angel Name? Even in the, because we're dealing with you see what I'm saying? At this time, who is his biggest problem? Khalid or Angel Name? Or is this a villain triangle?
I think
because he's fighting on both fronts.
I think they're all bad. I think Khalid and Angel. I think it's more about the secret or his past.
Yeah.
For me, that's the big thing. To me, that's the enemy almost right now, because something clearly happened.
Yes.
Where everyone is really scared. Jinniya's scared. Jinniya won't tell Ka-young. She's only telling her bits and pieces, but she's like, I don't want the wrath of God on me.
And even Garden Dude, the guy in the garden, he's like,
Sahara didn't want to do it.
So he was like, I lost everything.
Sade also didn't say anything. So I think that, and I think this is why Genie is getting scared. So when Genie pops back and forth from seeing the bits of the flashback, he's like, hey, I think I did something. And I think he's kind of scared
of what he did, because this is nice him now.
That's nice him now. He doesn't know what happened in the past. So to me, the bigger enemy or the villain is almost just kind of what his past. What is the secret? Clearly there's this, the secret means something to all these people because they're doing a lot of things. Angel is studying psychopaths for 200 years or whatever, or 20 years to keep
and then
the
Jinniya
secret.
won't even answer her lamp.
Yeah. I did want to wrap up our deep dives.
Deep dives.
So we're going to be talking today about 3 of our characters. Okay, so we're going to talk about Halmoni. So like old Halmoni, old Halmoni. I hate saying old Halmoni. And we're going to talk about Sade and Irem. Okay, so our first person is an actress named Kim Mi Kyung, and she plays Halmoni. Okay, and Kim Mi Kyung is like
somebody. Listen,
girl, like
I saw a thing on TikTok, and it was like, if these people show up in your drama, it's gonna be a banger.
Yeah.
And she was the second person on the list.
I know. So she's like the mom of Korea, right? She plays everyone's mom.
It's like Jennifer Lewis, because Jennifer Lewis is the mother of Black Hollywood.
Okay, that's so funny because she's literally. These are the fun facts, okay? So she has played the mom for all these top actresses, okay? Park Shin-hye,
Okay.
Woo Hyun Jin, Park Min-young from Marry My Husband, Kim Ha-neul, Gong Hyo-jin, Seo In-guk, and Kim Woo-bin. So our Kim Woo-bin, right, who's playing Genie, she's played his mom. Like, she's played everyone's mom.
Everyone's
It's
mom.
Wild. But so Kim Mi Kyung is 62 years old. She debuted in a stage play in 1985 called The Chronicle of Mr. Han.
I wonder if that's like, I wonder what that's about.
I know, but it's about Mr. Han. I wonder who
Sustained.
Mr. Han was. So she has very interesting hobbies. I love this. She is a scuba diver. She likes to skydive.
What?
She goes bungee jumping, and she does motorbiking. Yes.
All of the things that they would tell you as an actor, you probably shouldn't do.
Yeah. So she started in theater in 1980s and built her reputation through powerful stage performances, which is, I love that she's like stage actor.
Oh, you can tell.
And then she moved into TV and film in the late 1990s. And honestly, like, she is the national mother figure for everyone. But she has been in so many dramas. So I'll just read a couple, okay? Goodbye Solo. Did you watch Goodbye Solo? Okay. Goodbye Solo, The Legend, Secret Garden.
Saw that one.
She was in Heirs. Another Oh Hae-young. This is one of my, I think we talked about this, one of my favorite dramas of all time. It's Okay Not to Be Okay, who Kim Soo-yeon's in.
Okay, I was supposed to be starting that one.
Hi Bye Mama, 18 Again, Crash Course in Romance, which is on Netflix right now, and she was in Dr. Cha as well.
I tried to start Dr. Cha, and I was just like,
oh, I love Dr. Cha.
Okay,
I feel like you would love it.
I started it, and I was just like,
it's like an ajumma, like, becoming like a.
I literally haven't, because it looks like it's her in the title card. I got like 10 minutes in, and I was like, I don't know.
So basically, she's an ajumma who she was a doctor, but then she had to stay at home
because she had to raise her kid.
And then her husband's trash ass, another doctor, has an affair with another doctor who used to be her friend, and then she has to start, and she's like, you know what, this, I'm going to divorce you. They get divorced, and then she becomes a doctor too. No, she doesn't get divorced. She ends up becoming a doctor, but she starts from the ground up. It's very entertaining, and of course, there's like a hot young doctor who's like interested in her, and you're just like, oh my god.
Because there was a second in Korean dramas where we were doing like a May to December situation.
Yes.
Because my what is it? I Hear Your Voice was that area. It was like 2013, 2015.
Yeah.
There was a lot of.
Like, I don't think she was that much older than him, but I know what you mean though. But now where there's like the ajumma like baby romances, like ajumma, it has a really young.
So this, because before it was like Nuna romance.
Yeah,
now it's like ajumma. Wow.
They're expanding.
Okay, come on, Kate Beckinsale.
And then she's won awards. She's won a Paeksang Award for Best New Actress in Theater. At the SBS Drama Awards, she's won the Special Acting Award, Embassy Drama Award. She's won the Top Excellence Award. She's done everything. And now moving on to our Sade, okay? So Sade, the actor's name is Kyu Pil. Okay, he's 43 years old, and he's also been in a lot of stuff recently as a supporting character. He was a supporting character role in Queen of Tears. He was one of the spies that followed Kim Soo-yeon around.
Yes.
Remember? Yeah. So he has a lot of these like memorable roles. In Crash Landing on You, he also plays the assistant to the main character. So I like remember him from all these things. He was a child actor. And then he did a couple movies. I think he did a film and then he did a drama. And then he decided to take a break from acting because he felt like he didn't really have the talent. So he chose to take a long break to focus on school. Then he spent 10 years away from the industry, but then he came back in 2003 through this like KPS talent program. So I don't know if they still do this, but back in the day, they would have these like, you know, training programs. It's like, you know, like how like networks have like writing programs. Or
Yeah,
like,
I was.
or like, you know, for comics too, you have the, you
so
were part of that.
Yeah.
Right?
So I won Stand Up for Diversity. And so for like the year of 2016 was like the year of my reign. And so I was in an Amy Schumer pilot.
Oh.
So yeah, I booked a pilot my first pilot season in LA.
Oh, that's cool.
I had a holding deal with NBC.
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of, yeah. So it's kind of similar to that. But he's known to play characters who feel a little sad or pitiful.
Hilarious.
This made me laugh. Socially awkward, shy or self-conscious, hilariously flustered, right? So because of that, the public sees him as a reliable comedic and character actor.
Oh, I can't remember his actor's name, but because there's some, like when you watch enough of these dramas, you're like, my favorite eunuch is here.
That's what I'm saying. So he's like one of those. But his the popular dramas he was in, he was a character in Partners for Justice. He was in The Fiery Priest. That's where a lot of people recommend.
The Fiery Priest. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna start that one.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah,
he
beginning has a role in it. Yeah,
the beginning was a little funky.
Okay.
But Honey Lee is in it.
Okay, Honey.
And you know I will watch.
You love Honey.
She's my new girl.
The big thing for him in 2023 is like mainstream breakout was he was in The Roundup. So The Roundup is like a series of films that were super popular in Korea. It was like the #1 grossing film of that year, I think, and he was in that as a supporting role.
The Roundup 3.
Yeah, Roundup 3. He won a Best Supporting Actor award at the SBS Drama Awards in 2019 for Fiery Priest. It's kind of cool. Oh, he won the Scene Stealer Award for Fiery Priest as well. And then this was kind of interesting. So you know Park Eun-bin? So she is in Attorney Woo, the lead in Attorney Woo.
Yes.
So they were both child actors, and they played. They had a significant role together when they were younger in a drama called Soul 1945 in 2006. And then they were reunited in The King's Affection
because
as
he
adults.
was the eunuch, and then she was the. I watched Attorney Woo and I kept figuring out why this girl looks so familiar.
Yeah.
And then when I saw Sade, I was like, he looks familiar as well.
Yep. Yeah, and he married a singer named Amin. I don't know who that is, but they got married. It's good for him. And then fun facts, he likes fried chicken and he eats it often. And he smokes. I love it. I love my Korean Wikipedia, the one I use.
I love it when you look it up and it'll be like, here's their blood type. And
yes,
like, why do I need that?
So in Korea, they use blood type to kind of determine your personality, like personality traits. Like if you're type A blood, it's like you're type A.
How long has this been a thing?
It's been a thing for a while.
Well, because I want to know.
The big thing now is like they're obsessed with Myers-Briggs. They call it MBTI.
Oh, girl, we were doing this
years ago. I know. So that
on the
I
dating
feel like
apps.
This is So I feel like this like just the Myers-Briggs in Korea, like in the past couple years, like everyone's like, "What's your MBT?" And like
because that was on dating apps like 2017. Yeah. We were doing this nonsense.
I'm
like INE elemental P
ENFJ.
I don't remember.
I just know that I'm like Obama. Obama and I are the same.
That makes sense.
I'm like the same as President Obama and Oprah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's me. I'm gonna be Oprah.
I believe it. You making $1 billion? I can see it.
So and then moving on to Irem. We love Irem. Stunning Irem. So Irem is she's super young. She's 26, okay? The actress name is Woo Hyun Jin. She's just starting out. She's a student right now at the Korea National University of the Arts. So she just started doing dramas recently. There's not much about her. She has been in 2023, she debuted in Tale of the Nine-Tailed, 1938, where she plays Chang Yo-hee, and she gained early attention for fresh, more memorable screen presence. And then this is her second drama. I feel like she's going to be appearing in a lot of stuff. She's been in like 2 music videos. She did her school play, like her college play. Yeah.
She's a very pretty girl.
She is. I feel like we're going to probably see her in the future. So not much about her, but yeah, so it was our final wrap up of all like our major characters. Now we're going to move on to episode 11. Now, episode 11, I feel like this is like the episode where it is a very meaty episode. Everything happens here. We discover, we learn everything. We learn the truth, okay? So, my little short synopsis. Episode 11 reveals the heartbreaking truth about the 20-year gap Genie can't remember. We finally see the past life relationship between Genie and Ka-young unfold, from their accidental reunion in old Dubai to their tragic violent separation at the hand of Mutalib and Khalid, okay?
Can I just quickly say?
Yes.
Man, fuck Mutalib.
Mutalib came out of nowhere. Like, why is... We have a lot to talk about. Mutalib, I'm like... What? So then this episode explains how Genie becomes a wrathful spirit the world feared, why he hates human greed, and how Ka-young's death became both his punishment and his last wish. And then in the present, the villagers spiral into chaos as Seungnae Halmoni explodes publicly, literally, and then she meets the shocking fatal end, okay?
Which, that was nuts. Yes, this is the saddest episode.
It's I think that this episode and the final episode, I think the acting for both leads is really, really good. Like, this episode was Genie's episode. Kim Woo-bin is a fantastic actor. The amount of emotion, like, you could really sense the wrath, the sadness, just all of it. And like, it was interesting too, the way they were able to kind of show us, like, they built up his affection and his love for her so quickly in an hour or so. So like, I thought they did a really, really good job of showing how he falls in love with her. Like, it was a really, like, I don't know, like, I thought it was a very special episode. So I wish people would see this part too, because it makes it fun. And again, it's like, there's so much that they all pack into this. Key moment 1, okay? So we finally learn about Genie's missing 20 years, okay?
Yes.
So this is it. So Genie meets Ka-young, okay? So in the last episode, Genie's smoking the hookah, and we see kind of edgy Genie, like we said, right? And then he's kind of like bragging about the fact that Ka-young's punishment has not come through. So this is the punishment from the little girl.
Yep.
20 years ago.
Because she's dying. First of all, she's getting ripped apart by dogs.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's like, I want us to both be punished. And he's like, how dare this lump of clay wish that I could get punished.
Yeah.
And also for you to have to fulfill that wish that you yourself gets punished.
Yeah.
Is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's been waiting. It's been 20 years, right? And then basically Sade is just kind of like, hey, like, be careful what you wish for, literally. Like, you know, you shouldn't be saying that. You never know what's going to happen.
It's called tempting fate.
So then Genie is out on the streets of old Dubai. And then we see Ka-young, old Ka-young. She's wearing that, you know, the scarf covering her, and then we see why she has the scars. Do you remember when we would see flashbacks? I'd be like, "What's wrong with her face? Why does she have that?" I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
I don't know why I didn't either, because the thing is, like, because we thought she was dead.
Yes,
that's why.
Yes,
because we thought she was dead. So why is she walking around with these deep scars in her face?
She's selling dates. I thought this twist was so good because, like, I was like, okay, because the entire time they were hinting it and we just had no idea. You know what I mean? So I thought that was so clever. So she's selling dates in old Dubai. Genie walks up and he's like, oh my God, you're the lump of clay. Like, you're the girl. You're the young girl.
Because he whips past her and he's like, wait a minute.
Smell her, yeah.
Wait a minute. What are you doing out here?
Yeah, so Ka-young doesn't remember him. She's living in poverty, and she is selling dates, okay? And Genie basically becomes fascinated with her. He's like curious about her. So he, of course, because it's like the little girl that.
How are you alive? How are you? What's
Exactly.
going on? And she's like, I just want to go back to Koryo.
Right. So then there's a chain of events that happens where he starts falling in love with her, right? So at one point, like she's like talking to him and he like ruins her dates. She like drops the dates. She's like, what are you going to do? Oh my God. Like you ruined
Like, how
my
you
dates.
repay me for this? Because now the dates are covered in sand.
Yeah. So then he steals a bag of gold from some other person and he gives it to her, which cracked me up.
Which is so funny because the guy goes, where's my gold?
That was so funny. And then she's really excited because she is trying to go back to Koryo.
She just wants to go home.
She just wants to go home. She's stuck here. She's been stuck there for 20 years selling dates, right? So she's like, I need to go back home. And then she uses the coin, and she's kind of like reluctant at first to accept the money.
Because she's like, I didn't earn this. Why
Right.
would you give this to me? I didn't earn it.
Right. But then she like carries it and she's wanting to buy a camel because she needs the camel. This made me laugh.
Because she has to walk through the desert.
Just to walk.
Because the first time she went through the desert, because she was tied to Hunbish.
I know.
And she was supposed to be food for dogs. She was a slave child.
Yeah.
And she was tied to Hunbish and a camel.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I can't get a horse through the desert. It's going to have to be a camel.
So that was my other thing. So did they travel? This is a dumb question, maybe. This trade route, they traveled by sea too, right?
Sometimes, but this is your Silk Road.
So they just went straight desert. So what was the route? Like she went from like Korea through like China and she went into.
Yeah, that's where the Gobi Desert is.
Fucking crazy.
Because they would have Arab traders go through, because this was a real trade route.
Yeah.
Because it was like, that's how you get your Marco Polos. That's how Marco Polo got to China, was through this trade route. So Arab traders set this up before Europeans had ever been on
I
it.
wonder how long that journey is on a camel. Could you imagine?
Fucking months.
That's crazy.
Because if you think about like Mansa Musa coming from Africa on his Eastern Africa on his pilgrimage to Mecca. And so he would have had to go all the way up, and then it was like, we went to Mecca, and he came back down. This was a real trade route, and she was just like, I have to go home because also all she knows of the world is Koryo and Dubai. That's it. She doesn't, I mean, she could probably talk to other traders and get to the ocean, but how far is Dubai from the ocean? Because all those islands that are out there that are built like palm trees, those are all man-made.
Yeah. So it's just crazy that, anyways, I was just like, wow. So she's trying to buy a camel so she could go through the desert and go back to Korea.
But if you think about it, where could she, is Dubai near the water?
Because they have water. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she could have been on
There's
a boat.
an ocean. You can do it. That's why I was like, oh, maybe she's going to go through like she needs the camel to get to the water and then she hops on a boat. Because they were talking about how like the trade routes, remember? Like the trade routes were destroyed.
Right. And it sounded like he flooded stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So anyways, okay.
Great. Now I need to know where Dubai is on a map.
Yeah. So then.
Because I think I know, but I don't think I know.
So she's trying to buy a camel, right? So she goes to a camel merchant.
Dubai is right on the water.
Okay. So that makes sense. Okay. So.
Oh, she could have got on a boat.
I think she got on a boat. Regardless, she's trying to buy a camel because she wants to go home. She sees a merchant, right? So she's about to like purchase it. He corners her and beats the living crap out of her.
Has people beat her up and steal her gold.
Again, this drama being so violent. Steals the gold, right? But then
he's sitting there counting it.
I know.
Laughing. And then Genie's hand comes through his chest, Indiana Jones style.
Again, that was very violent. Like literally rips the
from the headlines.
Exactly.
From the back to the front is the most crazy part. She was horrified and calls him Satan.
She's like, how can you like kill someone? She's like, why would you kill? And then this is interesting because Genie at this point can't tell between right from wrong.
Well, because there is no right or wrong. Because I'm helping you. It's like these men. He was like, these men were hurting you when I killed them.
Yeah.
And she's like, you can't kill somebody.
So I think what's happening is
me and her think very differently. I'd have been very proud of him.
So I think it's the evolution. It kind of shows the evolution of Genie because, present day Genie, again, the way he's treating these wishes, like he knows when there's humans that are like like have ill intent. Like people like humans who are doing bad things. He's like, you know what?
That's why with Sade, like he was like, he almost hit him with his own car. Right. Or he brought him back to the wrong. Exactly. He's like 11 and it's like AM.
Yeah. So then but then he also knows that there's humans like Ka-young, who, she's a psychopath, but she inherently does the right thing. And I think he could tell from right and wrong. But this genie, I think, doesn't have that yet.
Well, he didn't have 983 years to think about the same person.
Thinking more in the person, right. So then she basically is like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you again, right? He approaches her again. And then at one point, he like follows her to her house. Like she's basically at a date, like, I don't know, like
date
farm. And she's, she's
sharecropping at a date farm and she's living in a shack. And then he comes up, and this is like my mini, not girl what, but girl, huh? Uh-huh. And he comes up breakdancing and dancing to Michael Jackson as Leaves. And I was like,
what is happening?
This is very cute that he's coming up to her. I thought he should have been dancing dates, but that's just me. But it was so cute because he was like, do, 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 do.
It's crazy. So she's like, at one point, she's like, she is sewing a hanbok so she can wear it to Koryo.
Because she's like, if I'm going home, I'm going to need an outfit.
I know. And and then he's like, and then he sees her at her little shack and he's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to bring you to my lamp. He's like, aren't you so like, why are you here?
Because, you're sewing in the dark.
I know. So he brings her to the lamp. And this is the scenes that we see. They're in the lamp. They're chatting. She's smiling. And then you discover that as their relationship grows, she's telling him about Koryo. This part really got me. She's like, we have 4 seasons in Korea. It's great. There's cherry blossoms. And this is what
because when they were in the walking scene and he's just like, I'm glad to see the cherry blossoms.
I cried a lot in the last 3 episodes. It's like I don't know. I know it's like a fictional character, but like, again, like the way they did it, like that part was just
you're like tearing up right now.
I know. It's just like very sweet, Yeah. Yeah. Like they really loved each other. Anyways, I don't know why I'm crying. Yeah, I cried a lot.
Because men aren't this nice in real life.
Yeah. No, it was just so sweet. And then...
Because it makes it even more sad.
Yeah. Because, like, Anyways, this is the first time we're us crying on camera. It was just a very sweet thing. And then...
it's like... Because, honestly, it's... Yes, he killed somebody. But it's like... He's like... Because it was like almost one of the things, like, as soon as once he realized who she was... Because you also have to, because that's the part that's kind of confusing for me. Because didn't he stand in the desert and watch the little girl's body decompose? Or was that older Ka-young's body who he watched decompose?
He was watching the older, but then the way they framed it, he thought it was his memory. He thought he was watching the little girl die.
Oh, because there is no...
Because he forgot.
Because there's no older Ka-young.
Yeah.
So all he knows is he watched her. So... But while this was happening... But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In real time, because he thought she was dead.
That's what I'm saying. He thinks that... Yeah. In his memory... Current memory, he doesn't remember stuff. He thinks she died. The little girl died. He thinks he watched her die.
Because, hold on.
Yeah.
So, that 20-year, so even in the real time of it, the little girl, so what would have happened is, because she grew up those 20 years.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. She dies. He goes to the oasis, and he's sitting there for 20 years waiting for punishment. She grows up. Then she dies.
Yeah.
And so the body he's watching decompose in the desert is the older Ka-young.
Yeah.
And so, but when they erase his memories,
he thinks
it's the young Ka-young.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
Listen, you were wondering it too. It's
confusing.
It's a little bit confusing. But also, I think it's like, if you write a show that can have people having conversations like this, and then they're just remembering the show and tearing up. That is a credit to your writer.
The way they did it is just so smart, because you're seeing a lot of these, like, Yeah, there was so much foreshadowing throughout the series. So when you're at this moment when you're figuring out the truth,
yes,
I was like the entire time watching this, I was like, oh my God, I was piecing everything together. And I was like, oh, I get it now. It makes sense now.
Genie promises her to take her to choreo, and she makes the hanbok, and then
This part was very sweet. He takes her to the desert, and she basically tells him that in choreo, she would write down wishes on a piece of paper and make boats and float them on the river.
Well, then this is my thing. If she's she's not in Dubai. She's somewhere in the desert.
They're like around Dubai. They're in Dubai.
If they're in Dubai,
they say they're in old Dubai. Yeah,
she could have just put these in the ocean.
I know, but they're, they gotta amp up.
That's why I was like, that's what made me doubt the geography that I knew.
No, I think this is just to kind of like make
it's beautiful,
the scene romantic, because he basically is doing the same thing for her, but only these little boats are floating like little stars
and
towards the moon.
And then you can look at the wishes that she wrote. It's like, I hope the wanderer is okay. I hope someone's taking care of him. And I'm like,
it's just, like, and then the song that they play, so I was.
But I also wanted to know who she was praying to.
I think she was just praying to God.
I get it. But the way she was praying was how Christians pray, not how Muslims pray. That's what the other thing I was confused about.
I think maybe she's probably like in the Buddha. It's probably the Buddha time.
Yeah, because she came from Koryo,
so she's probably
But I have no frame of reference I don't know how Buddhists postulate in prayer.
So this was really cute too. She basically says in one of her wishes that she hopes that other people don't fall for his striking looks, because at one point when they were chatting, she tells him, she's like, "Hey," basically she's like, "You're kind of good looking." In that scene where they're like going back there, like, they're bantering.
Because he's saying that, like, she was saying that he told her she's the only one that can see him.
And she's like,
She's like, oh, well, that's good. But, other people should be able to see you because you have a striking look.
I know. So it was so sweet. And then that's when at that moment, he's like, oh, I think I like
And his heart grew 3 sizes.
I know. Okay. So then, we find out that Genie also runs. We see Angel. Okay. We see like a Middle Eastern angel. And he plucks his feathers.
Yes.
And he runs back, and that's what he uses. That's what he uses to make the writings on the wall of like Habibti and all of that about Ka-young, right? Okay. So then this is random, but not random, but it kind of like we understand why all these things are happening. But you see Ka-young go visit Khalid, and he's, using his magic thread, and he's making the rug, and they're chatting. So she gives him like these, like, I don't know what it was, like thread to like boil, because it's going to help him with his cough.
So she gives him some dates, and then he's like, and then here's some stuff for your cough.
Cough, right. And then Genie comes, and Genie's like, chatting with Ka-young, but then
he's like, hey girl, what's up? Let's go.
Then he realizes that this little boy Khalid is a half mortal, half immortal, right? So he's a magical being as well. Then he realizes, oh, you're Sade's son. And then the little boy realizes, okay, hey, this is a genie. And he goes, hey, Genie, can you please help me? Can you please help me?
Make my cough better. I'm trapped in this weak body.
And then Genie is a little cold, right? Genie's like, I'm not going to help you. No, I'm good. And he like runs off. And this is where Khalid this is the reason why Khalid is trying to get back at Genie.
This is his villain origin story.
Yes.
Because this is also my question. His father can't. So there are other.
The genies. So Jinniya, right? I know your question. So our Genie is the only genie who grant wishes. Okay.
Oh yeah, because Jinniya just does. Weather, and then
Sade puts things to sleep.
Right.
Yeah, and then Sahara takes care of like souls.
Yeah.
So everyone has like a different role. So he basically says he's like, hey, can you please help me get out of this body? I will do an exchange. I'll give you my magic thread. And this is where the thread comes in. I'll give you my magic rug, my magic thread.
Because he said it tells him that he can like entrap any magical being.
Right. Okay.
Because this little boy, the dirty look he gives him.
I know. So then this is, So then key moment number 2, okay? The wrath of Iblis, okay? So this is where Ka-young dies, and we see Genie's transformation. So then Genie gets a new master. His name is Mutalib.
Because he is crawling through the desert for some reason.
So Mutalib was there when young Ka-young dies.
Because he was one of the slave traders.
Yes. Okay. So then he comes back, and then Ka-young is also like giving dates to the poor. So this girl is just like, she's a model citizen.
I'm trying to sell my dates. I'm not selling them. Hey, here's a couple dates. You can eat something. I feel like he recognized her the entire time.
Maybe.
I think he knew who she was.
So
the whole time, because she comes and helps him. And then Mutalib finds the lamp. And starts getting rich, and starts having wishes, and of course it's make me richer than anybody.
Of course,
make me richer than everybody.
Yes.
And then
the final wish.
So, but because here's the thing with these wishes, it's like he was never a good person.
Oh, Mutalib, no.
Because he at one point goes, throw the slave bitch to the dogs. She's 10.
I know, he was never good.
And he tried to, and Hunbish was first. That's why she makes the wish to make Hunbish.
To save Hunbish. Yeah.
Save Hunbish because he threw him first.
Yeah.
Then tried to throw her.
Yeah. So then Mutalib basically makes his final wish, okay? And the final wish is...
Not before saying his second wish is that, so first wish, super rich. Second wish is he wants everyone to submit to him.
Everyone to submit to him.
And anyone who ever looked down on him to be punished.
Right.
So now you've killed...
Everyone
in the town.
Right. So he's nuts. And then the third wish is, so before he gets the third wish, he goes to Ka-young and he's like, hey, I'm going to give you everything. Like I have these wishes. I can give you anything you want. You helped me. I want to help you. She declined. She's like, no, nothing is for free. I don't want anything from you.
Because she's already seen the genie work. Think about it. Because she saw the genie. Saw it.
So she was like, nope. And then she tells him, she's like, I don't need anything. And then this pisses him off because he thinks that she is being disrespectful.
She thinks he's looking down on her because it's... So he is trying to, one, I remember when you were the slave girl. Two, he's trying to repay her gratitude.
Right, because she was kind to him.
What he could have just done is when she was like, I don't need nothing, because she saw what happened last time.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know that. When she went, hey, I don't need anything, he could have just went, well, then let me buy the dates. Every day.
Like a normal person.
Every day.
I will buy a date from you.
I will come by, however many dates you have.
Right.
I will come and buy those dates. If you don't want just charity, I will come by the door. Instead, he does what a man does when it's like when a man asks you for your number and you says no, and all of a sudden he starts calling you ugly. And it's like, sir, I wasn't ugly 15 seconds ago.
Right. So then he decides to make this random wish where he wants Ka-young to submit to him.
And be at his side for the rest of her life.
Right. But then Genie doesn't realize, right? So this is when we jump back to the scene that we saw earlier, okay? When Genie's like, oh, Ka-young, we'll go. I promise I'll take you to Koryo tonight after this guy makes his final wish, okay?
Because she's like, look at my outfit.
Yes.
He's like, okay. And it's like, oh, well, he's doing his final wish?
Yes.
Well, go tonight.
Yeah. So then he goes back. Mm-hmm. He goes to the town city center or whatever, the city, like the area. And then Mutalib makes this final wish. He doesn't know. Genie has no idea that the person that he's talking about submitting to him is Ka-young, okay?
And being by his side for the rest of her life.
So then he says, okay, your wish is granted.
Your wish is fulfilled, and turns around.
And then and it's Ka-young. And he's like, oh my God, And then out of fucking nowhere, okay, so basically Mutalib's men grab Ka-young, okay? And then Genie's trying to like grab her, right? Try to save her.
Yeah.
Then fucking Khalid, the little boy, comes out of nowhere, ties Genie's hands behind his back with the thread.
No, ties his ankle down.
Ankles and hands, everything down.
Yeah. He tied his hands behind his back.
Yeah, everything.
Because how does he get his hands free? He just, pure anger breaks them free? Because remember, he has to pick her, because after she gets stabbed, he picks her up and everything. He just ties his ankles.
I think he ties everything, but maybe it's just his ankles?
So he ties, because he goes to run to him, and then he ties his ankles up, because as of this point, he's in the new body. So Khalid's in Hunbish, and so he ties his ankle because
he ties his ankle. Okay,
because
so
he
then he
goes
ties
to run
it
to save Ka-young, and he can't because as soon as because Humby shows up and goes, she's in love with him. And then that's why he stabs Ka-young. So he ties Genie's ankles, pops up and goes, hey, Mutalib, she's in love with the genie. And then that's why he was like, oh, then I can never have her. And that's why he stabs her through the stomach. Then he presents the lamp and he's like, hey.
This part
made me, I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, you get 3 wishes. You think, I want to be richer than Mutalib. Okay, fine. You're the richest person in the whole planet. Yeah. You get 3 wishes. You already wished for all the money. Yeah. So what are the other things that you need? And so I was like, okay, you got all the money. His second wish has to be, save that lady. Third wish, make me richer than me the first time, right? But I was just like, oh, this man is going, and I was like, oh, no one saved her.
No one saved her. And this is the most heartbreaking part of it, because this is why he hates humans, because he's sitting there pleading with everyone. So he's first like, guy, he's like, first wish, okay, I gave you everything. Second wish, I gave you everything. Please, I'm begging you now. She's going to die. She's going to die. And at the very end, he still says.
And he's like, I want gold to rain down.
It's so sad. And then, because of course, like, Ka-young is.
Because you're looking at it where it's like, he is, because if you look from his perspective, he was also, someone who had nothing. Mm-hmm. He's, also a beggar as well. And it's like, you've got finery and all this other stuff. And it's like, oh, it's never
going to be enough.
It's never going to be enough, because you're always going to remember when you had nothing. Yeah. And so it's like, because I'm thinking with the third wish, he was like, oh, well, there's one girl, but I'm giving the whole city gold. I don't even think he thought about it.
I don't think he thought about it that way. I think, to me, it just shows that human nature at the core is just really selfish. Right. Like this person, like this entire drama is about good versus evil, right?
But I think more
it's like, are you good or are you bad? Like, Ka-young was inherently a good person. She was always good, whether she was a psychopath or whether in her past life, she was a selfless human being. And to me, like that, and then, but for Genie always saw the worst in humans, because he granted wishes for people, and everyone was inherently kind of bad and nasty. And like, this shows it. And then this is what cemented his opinion of humans for forever. He's sitting there begging and pleading and crying, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, these people are seeing everything that happened. These are all strangers. They saw how he's trying to save.
He also just saw her get stabbed.
Exactly. So it's like, no one cares, so.
But also remember how they talked about her and they treated her. She was an outsider anyway.
Oh yeah, because she's Korean. Like, right. She's not one of them.
Right. So so when you remember when she was at the date farm, and he was like,
oh, it's so interesting how humans treat outsiders differently. Mm-hmm. I know. So,
and she was like, don't be that way, because they're the ones that gave me a job. They gave me a place to stay. Yeah. And so
she dies in his arms. Her hand hits the thread, breaks it. And this is when Genie gets his sword and he kills Mutalib.
That sword, let me say something. The acting of the sword, like sword, call the Emmys. Hey, I need to get this.
That scene ends up being is the sword and the stone. So it's the statue that we see in Dubai. It's basically Mutalib is between the sword and the stone, and he's like stuck
because all this rock came up behind him, so he couldn't escape. Exactly. And you know what I thought about? I thought about at one point somebody went, okay, we can't get the stone out. Let's get this skeleton off this rock. Like, somebody had to walk up one day and go, is he dead? Is he dead enough? And Can we take the skeleton off now, please?
Right. And then the rest of the city, it's raining gold. He's crying. He's crying bloody tears.
But so much gold starts coming out of the sky. You're like, oh, that's a scary amount of gold.
It's a scary amount of gold. And then you see he destroys the entire city with the gold, right? And then Sade and Khalid, they escape. Because remember, Sade and Khalid, Sade was like, what are you doing, Khalid? Oh, he realizes Khalid, because at this point he had transferred Khalid into Hanbish's body, right? So he realizes and he sees what his son does to Genie and to Ka-young, right? And he's like, oh my God, what's going on? And then we jump to the future, right? For the third moment. And then he realizes what had happened. He was like, oh my God, Ka-young's final wish that they were punished for, the little girl's third wish that they were both punished. That was fulfilled when she died as his lover, because that was his punishment, is to live through that, right? The pain of that, right?
Living through the pain of losing somebody you love.
Yeah, so the pain of her death was his punishment, right?
Which is interesting because it was like so many people died at his hand. But I didn't have a girl what moment. I had a life lesson moment where it was just like, a woman will always die at the hands of a weak man. Because think about it. All she did was say, no, thank you. I don't want what you're offering me. Yeah. And then he wished to have her trapped with him till the end of her days. Yeah. And then the end of her days was 5 minutes later.
I think that the reason for her death, that was a little light plot-wise.
Honestly, for me, it made perfect sense.
The boy with the torch, right? We discover the person that that Genie keeps on seeing from the past is actually the soul of Hanbish, right? Because what happened when they did the body swap? What happened to little Hanbish's soul? It was a wandering spirit because he had nowhere to go, right? So this entire time he's suffering.
When you see, because the old boy switches the souls, there was no body for Hanbish's soul to go to, because even if it went into Khalid's body would have died.
Yeah. So then Genie discovers that it was Hanbish was telling him who was the person who wanted him to know the truth, right? Yeah. So because of that, as a gift, Genie gives Hanbish his soul peace. He releases him. He's like, I will release you from being a wandering spirit, so you could at least have some peace, you know?
You would think that because Sahar got punished, I would have thought that at least because they call God him. I would think that once Khalid's body died, it wouldn't make Hanbish as a wandering soul. He would be, all right, young man, let me go ahead and grab you.
You would think that, but no.
Or why didn't Angel Nim come get him when that body died? Because he would have had to get whatever soul was in that body.
I think it may be because, so if you think Hanbish was always immortal, right? Because of that wish that.
So the soul was immortal.
The soul was immortal. So I don't think you could do anything with an immortal situation. Yeah.
The soul and the body is immortal.
Yeah. So it was sweet though, because Genie sets him free. And then what Hanbish tells him is interesting. Hanbish is basically like, you guys are still your punishment hasn't ended, because you guys are still bounded by these 3 wishes. So his point is, Genie's original punishment from Ka-young's wish has not ended in the present, because they're still bound by the wish, meaning whatever, it doesn't matter what they do, one person is going to die or one person gets banished, right? It's a lose-lose situation for both of them.
They have a soul tie. All right. You got to break those.
So then, this is when Genie watches himself mourning Ka-young. So after Ka-young dies, he takes his body to that spot in the desert. And that's where we see him actually mourning her adult body, watching it, become sand.
Because it never made sense to me why he had that dirt that was underneath the little girl's body.
Yeah, he always kept it. Yeah, and he had that, and he put that in the
hourglass, and he said it was an urn. Yeah. So I was like, he knew that little girl for 2 minutes. Why? And destroyed her life.
I know.
Why would he hold on to her? And it was because remember, Ka-young saw him mourning. Yeah. But Ka-young didn't see him mourning the little girl.
It was her.
It was her. It was adult her.
And then they always thought that he was watching with wrath, right? Because he was so upset that this little girl, did this to him. He was bound by her punishment. But he thought it was like a look of like everyone thought he was resentful of this little girl. But the entire time, Ka-young realizes, oh, this isn't, because Ka-young could tell people's emotions, right? She's like, that wasn't wrath, that was mourning.
It was
like
pain,
it was pain. So then this entire time, he blames himself for her death and begs for a chance to see her in another life. So he like prays over and over again. This is what he says. I hope to visit a life of hers. I accept whatever punishment I am due. Take what you will, but please, just once, whichever one of our lives it may be, whatever the punishment, I will take it. Remove whatever possessions you deem too good for me. So he's repeating this like prayer over and over again.
And that's why he got that one chair.
He got the one chair, and then God, this is why God, you know, like he's begging to give the one chance to see him again. And I think this is why he's able to see Ka-young in the present life.
Because she comes back in those other lives too.
You're right.
Where it's like she's helping this great person and she's helping this great person.
Yeah.
But this is the first time she's just a regular person.
It's so sad. They did a great job. Yeah, but then we come back to the future really quickly.
Girl.
So this scene was insane. So Seungmi Halmoni is just like freaking out. She brings the whole crew.
She calls
over.
everybody.
She calls everyone, and everyone's like, "You've lost your mind. What do you mean?" She's basically saying, "Oh, the young woman is Halmoni." And everyone's like, "You've lost your mind." They think she's having a breakdown. And then Minji is in the corner with Miju, right? Young Halmoni, they're watching all of this. And like young Halmoni's crying, you know? And
because
then,
she goes to her with the toothache. And she's
so she's like, you know, she's like upset and all of that. And then out of fucking nowhere, the lady's like running. You see Khalid's crony in the car.
With the craziest dye job.
And like literally kills her instantly by hitting the car, like hitting her with the car.
And then everyone's like, don't go anywhere, don't get anywhere. And he goes up and he just gets out. He was like, hey, I just killed somebody.
Yeah. And then
y'all might want to come get me.
Yeah. And then the episode ends like that with just like, you know, and also these episodes have very abrupt endings, but I get it. It's because they're like raising the stakes or whatever. But
so this obviously was my girl what moment.
Yeah.
But grandma dying, so like hater ass Halmoni dying in a car wreck, like getting hit by a car. Yes, but her going to get the entire village.
Yeah,
to prove that this visitor to the house, because her whole thing is she thinks Ka-young has killed Halmoni.
In the beginning, she did, yeah.
Right, and so now it's like, well, no, she didn't kill her. Now she's actually found a way to make her grandma young again. Yeah. And it's just like, girl.
They think she's crazy.
You about to get locked up.
They think
you about
she's
to get
crazy.
locked up. So there's like all of this, but it's so much because it's like, Genie killed somebody. Mm-hmm. Okay, Genie killed somebody, but we know why Genie killed somebody. Mm-hmm. Genie killed somebody else. Wait, now Ka-young's dead. Wait, now grandma's dead? Girl, it was a lot.
It was a lot. So this was a very action-packed episode. I think that this was truly Kim Woo Bin's episode. He did a fantastic job.
Honestly, I hope he wins an award from this.
I cried a lot watching this. I cried a lot in, not the next, I think the following episode, I like lost it. No. I think the next two episodes, I just cried. I cried a lot in this. It was just so sweet. The romantic moments, it was just so like, even that scene where she's like praying and they're watching the wishes go up. Mm-hmm. I cried during that. Like it was a very like weepy episode. But I think that overall,
because like, does this change the way? Because interesting, because like, even though he doesn't remember this time with her, because it's funny that they cut 20 years out of his memory when they look like they only needed to cut out a couple of months.
No. Yeah, they could have just cut.
All they had to do was just cut out all the time with Ka-young.
But I think maybe they needed to cut the 20 because they didn't want him. Like, I think if they only cut a couple months, he would just be waiting for Ka-young.
or
they needed to plant the seed. They needed him to think that he killed her as a little girl.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? That the little girl died. Like, I think that's what they needed to set.
Oh, because if they don't cut out those 20 years, then it seems like...
So what was he in wrath for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because if they don't cut out the whole 20 years, and then it's just like, oh, I never got my punishment. But then in his brain, it's like the third wish. He needed to think the third wish had been fulfilled with her dying.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the moral of the story, of this story, is like...
Never fall in love with the genie?
Well, that too, but I think it's
don't live in the past.
Don't live in the past, but it's also like...
No, I mean in the literal past. Like, don't live in Dubai 1,000 years ago.
I think that... Basically, like, I think, like, human nature... So, these little, like, Mutalib, we just talked about how Mutalib, right?
Was a hater and an awful person.
Just, like, he killed Ka-young because, like you said, over something so stupid.
All she did was tell him no.
Right. And then if you think about Khalid...
All he did was tell him no.
Well, Khalid, I mean, yeah. I mean, but Khalid's rage should be against his dad. It should never be against... For being born? For falling in love with the human?
Let me tell you something. How many times... I always remember the first time I ever read this on like Instagram and somebody was like, my parents had fun one time and now I have to go to work. You see what I'm saying? It's the same. Well, excuse me for being born. Like it's, because the thing is, who is Khalid going to be mad at? Because he was begging his dad to help him.
But he couldn't help him.
Because it's his own kid.
And he just didn't have the power.
Sir,
He's like, the only thing I could do is like
make
put
you
people
go to sleep. That's
yeah.
it. So I can make, because it's almost like, oh, he could have been a Sleeping Beauty situation and he could have put his son to sleep. His son didn't, it's like, he can't die in his sleep, can he? His body is so, Sade could have put his son to sleep. But all this is just people being told, Khalid got told no, now he hates Genie for 983 years and must destroy him. Ka-young tells Mutalib no, and now he has to force her to be at his side and then kill her 5 minutes later. So, like, it's just people saying no.
Yeah.
When someone wanted a thing.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
Yeah.
That's all it is because it's like Genie has this 20-year memory gap. And so
my other question is this.
Right.
Why did... Now we know the truth. Was it really worth Angel, God, everyone trying to keep the secret for him?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Right. Because if you think about it, like, what's the whole point? So Angel now is like, I still just want to kill him. Well, so maybe for Angel's, like, he just wants to kill him.
You know what this is?
What?
This is
Angel's doing the same thing. He's just being really petty.
This is the same deep cut of every Korean drama being like the romantic leads always knew each other in a past life, or they knew each other when they were kids.
Oh yeah.
Like if you think about like Sade, and it's like our mothers were best friends.
Like, yeah.
It's
they met
always
each other thousands of years ago.
It's Queen of Tears. We met one time in high school. You lost your MP3 player, and I've had this MP3 player since Obama.
It's the same thing.
This is just the biggest example of the people that love each other now knew each other years ago, because it's so many layers to it. But because it was like, he's like, oh, it's because I hate her because she imprisoned me for 983 years. What happened is that you asked God to let you meet her again. So you being trapped in that lamp is of your own doing.
Yeah, he did that all day. Yeah. And I think he knows. He knows now.
He knows now. So I think it's the love story has to be revealed some kind of way. And because also Mutalib, hating ass Mutalib, dies. Hating ass Halmoni dies.
Yeah.
And also no one believes her.
No one believes her. That woman was nuts. Okay. So anyways,
crazy.
This was our wrap up of episode 10 and 11.
Yes.
Wow, we did it.
We did it.
We'll be back next Wednesday, which is going to be Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve,
to recap the final 2 episodes, episode 12 and 13. Episode 12 is absolutely wild. 13's a little bit lighter, so we can like focus mostly on 12.
But
we'll get into it.
It's still too much.
Yeah.
Friends, what do you think of the pod? What do you think of the show? Submit your questions, thoughts, prayers, rants, or whatever at chasingkdramas@gmail.com. We want to hear from you directly. For the Sarangees and for everybody else, go to chasingkdramas.com to see what our merch is, because it's Christmas time.
It is.
And you got to get presents for your favorite K-drama lover. And what's a better present than the Chasing K-drama tote bag, or pillowcase, or bonnet, or cute little headband, or pin, or bracelets. And we'll see you on the next K-drama chase. Saranghe!
Chasing K-Dramas is hosted and executive produced by Dulcé, Sloan, and me, Chrissy Choi. I edit the audio and video, and our production is led by Thomas Yuen from TY Media and Go Get 'Em Productions. Our artwork is designed by Yai Screen. We're an indie podcast, and we're always looking for fun partnerships. If you're a brand that's interested in sponsoring our chases, or for your fan who just wants to stay in touch, please check out our website at chasingkdramas.com.